The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supply sub-distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the West Ham Massive. Thanks for joining us. And as always, guys, please don't forget to like, comment on and share this stream to your social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell icon for alerts of new content. Don't forget to click all. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much indeed for your support in this endeavour. And as always, guys, as a little bit of housekeeping, I like to get this bit out of the way. We're past the watershed, so, you know, if there's a little bit of adult language that comes out, if it offends you, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and exit stage left, and go and watch Songs of Praise, because this is probably not the place for you. We are here to discuss Premier League match day 15 of 38. Our very own West Ham United make a trip along the North Circular to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where we play Tottenham Hotspur. Joining me today to discuss this, Mr. Charlie Woodgate. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you doing? It'd be weird if we weren't playing Tottenham in Tottenham, wouldn't it?
It would be a little bit peculiar, but I don't know. Stranger things have happened, I suppose.
That's true.
Anyway, guys, the ticker at the bottom is going to change intermittently. I've got little facts and figures and all the rest of it. So, you know, give us your thoughts on some of the things that we're going to discuss. I'll give you the referees and the officials as well. So there we go. Right.
Wanker 1, Wanker 2, Wanker 3, Wanker 4.
Oh, dear. Not good. Right, hang on. Let me find the right button. That one. Right. Okay. There we go. Right. Okay, so I'll put the slides up there if people do want to watch it and sort of get that. Right, so Charlie, your thoughts on the opposition this season? They had something of a really good start under their new manager, Ange Postecoglou, who was tentatively linked with us in the summer, but nothing really substantial. And obviously he ended up going to Spurs and we ended up keeping Mr. Moyes. And they came out of the blocks. They really were sort of flying out of the blocks. And then they had a little bit of a stumble and they lost a couple of games on the bounce. And then they've obviously got the game against Man City, where I think it's fair to say they've gone there and they've done a very creditable job. They've got a very good record against City. It's quite interesting. But how do you assess Tottenham's season thus far under Ange Postecoglou?
Yeah, well, they clearly had the new manager bounce, didn't they? Which they seem to have under most managers, apart from Nuno, which that never happened. But they seem to get the new manager bounce, and don't get me wrong, he plays good football. They're fun to watch, however horrible that sounds to say about Spurs. But it's all gone a bit Pete Tong recently, hasn't it? Since the Chelsea game where they just lost their head. It's unlike Tottenham to lose their head against Chelsea.
What a shock.
Yeah, you can sort of understand that one, but then they're losing to Wolves and Villa at home as well. You think maybe it's all going wrong, but then enter West Ham. Perfect timing for Tottenham fans. Perfect timing for Tottenham. If you can't get a win against anyone, enter West Ham and you'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's... oh, hang on. Look who's turned up. Do you have to?
Really?
She hasn't been rude. She hasn't been rude. That's the missus. She's a Spurs fan. What you have been quite polite, to be fair. At the moment, yeah.
In public.
Don't encourage her, Lawrence. Just ignore her. It's fine. She'll go away eventually. She'll get bored. Yeah. I mean, look, it really, really, really pains me to say it, but I think that Tottenham have played a style of football that even in the games they lost, I thought they were playing football in a fashion that was very, very pleasing on the eye, and I can't say I've been very, very jealous.
No, the ideal manager is almost somewhere in the middle between defensive Dave and attacking Ange.
Yeah, but I think
some of the stuff they did against Chelsea was just dumb.
Yeah,
like it was fun to watch as a neutral, but it was just suicidal. Playing a high line on the halfway line with 9 men or whatever. You can do that tomorrow if you want, and we might have a chance.
Yeah, we might, but we might not. But yeah, as I say, it's been a sort of, like I say, the complete antithesis of what we've witnessed this season. As you said, defensive Dave, attacking Ange. Probably the perfect manager is a hybrid of the two.
And totally the opposite of what Spurs fans witnessed last season as well.
Yeah,
under Conte, they've gone from
Conte
one
and
extreme to the other.
Yeah, they've sort of had pretty sort of basic football under the two previous managers, and Nuno as well. I don't think his tenure was particularly clever, but they've obviously
penny for Harry Kane's faults. He's been a Tottenham's star player for the last 3 managers, just being totally defensive. As soon as he leaves, they turn into the most attacking team in the league.
Yeah, it's I turned around the other day and I was having a little bit of a laugh with the missus, and because obviously when they were losing the games, I turned around to her and I said, "Do you know what you need?" I said, "There's a really good striker, and he plays in the Bundesliga, and his name's Kane. I don't know if you've heard of him." And she was like, she gave me a few choice words. She told me to fuck off, basically. But
yeah, just
they've actually coped quite well without him.
They have, and Son's become a totally different player, and I think he's a brilliant player, unfortunately. But just on Lawrence's earlier comment, I think the best time to play him was last week. Unfortunately, they're actually going to have a centre back against us, aren't they? Romero's back, so they won't have 2 fullbacks at centre back. But it's still a pretty good time to play him if you're going to choose a time, I suppose.
Yeah. So, next question I've got lined up for you, Charlie, is where is it? Who do you believe is the key player for Tottenham Hotspur? I think you probably have let the cat out the bag. You might have mentioned him just a moment ago, but who's the main man?
Yeah, it's got to be Richarlison.
Yes, that was precisely the player I was thinking of.
Yeah, no, obviously Son is there. Well, probably their only superstar now. Obviously, Maddison's another top player, but he's out injured. Again, I'm a little bit unlucky that we've got them now. Now that they've got Basuma back, I think he's a great centre midfielder. I don't know what Conte was doing to Basuma; he just didn't like him. But yeah, I think Son's got to be the one we worry about. I didn't quite give him the captain's armband in my fantasy team this week against us, but it was a consideration. But
yeah, I think Son's been. I mean, I was interested to sort of like see how it was. Change of manager, the main striker, and it was a player that, let's be honest, him and Kane had a great partnership over the years. I mean, I think last season Son wasn't quite at his very, very best. He's back to it now. Sensational player. Again, something that really grates me as the word leaves my lips. I'm giving a Spurs player a thumbs up, but taking off my West Ham allegiances for a moment, he is a really top player. Really, I think he would probably walk into I think he walks into any team in the Premier League, including City.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't know how he gets into City. I guess instead of Alvarez playing in that Alvarez position. But yeah, I think you're right. I think he gets into any team in the world. I said a few years ago I'd expect him to be at Real Madrid. I'm surprised he hasn't gone, but I think he could get in there certainly now. But since they lost Benzema, but yeah, I've saying that I've been really impressed. The last couple of games I've seen Kulusevski in the number 10. I've always sort of seen him as a right winger, right inside forward. We know what a good right inside forward is like. We've got 2 or 3 of them. Just got no other players to go with them.
Yeah, shame we got no one that can play on the left that's like the guy on the right.
Yeah,
but there
absolutely.
You go.
Yeah, but no,
Let's put a number 10 out there. There's a good idea.
Number 10, right winger, striker, centre mid, James Ward-Prowse. Who wants to play left wing next? We might see Fabianski out there this week.
Yeah, maybe that's the winning formula. Doubt it. Or should we put Pablo Fornals there?
No, I'd rather Fabianski.
Fair enough. Fair dues. Who's the West Ham player that you think will be the key man?
Well, I think form-wise, Kudus is the obvious answer to that. I think he's probably aside from Jared Bowen, who's not really played a couple of games, apart from when he was pretty poor at the weekend. I think Kudus is the obvious one. I expect Kudus to have a good game. So I think the answer to that really is probably Paqueta. If Paqueta plays well, and we'll probably get onto it later, but hopefully not on the left wing, although I think that's what we all probably expect.
Yeah.
If Paqueta was to have one of his best games that he's had or play up to anywhere near the standard he's capable of, I think that gives us a chance. If he's just a passenger that's falling all over the ground and doing a great impression of Mikel Antonio over the last 2 years, he's pretty useless and I'm willing to play him. But I think he's fed up playing on the left wing as well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that kind of frustrates me is when he starts doing all the histrionics, throwing himself to the ground, waving his arms around, gesticulating for a free kick, and everybody's looking and going, mate, it fucking isn't even a foul. It isn't even it's nothing. Just carry on for fuck's sake. I do wonder, like you just sort of said there about, is he starting to get frustrated with the role that he's being asked to play? Is that possibly a reason why his performances have started to plateau?
I think it's certainly probably a contributing factor. He's obviously, it doesn't really matter if he likes it or not. He should be playing better than he is. I wouldn't say he's not doing the tracking back, not doing the winning us back possession that he was doing earlier in the season. I think he's doing all that still. He's just not had that creativity, but then perhaps that's been without Bowen in front of him. He's lost all hope of someone getting onto it. But yeah, I think it's probably a contributing factor. I don't think he likes it. I think we can tell he doesn't like it. I don't think any of the fans particularly like it. I know he sort of drifts inside. But I can imagine he probably gets a bollocking for drifting inside and going wandering, because then we openers and won't finish that sentence. Open as anything on the left wing, which if they've got Brennan Johnson or Kulusevski coming down the right wing tomorrow night, could cause them some problems. Yeah,
he's going to have his work cut out, I think, to be fair, on that flank. I do wonder, though. I mean, it's one of those you sort of like, you sit there and you go, well, he's not going to drop Souček, and to be honest, with his recent contributions in getting match-winning goals, probably you can't drop Souček.
Bring him on at 75 minutes. He can score in the 85th minute. Then I'd drop him. Really? He contributes nothing apart from a last-minute goal for a couple of times.
Well, that's quite significant, in fairness.
It is, but if we're relying on last-minute Souček goals, then, like I say, bring him on last 20 minutes. If we need a goal, go direct, go long. Fine. But you've got a passenger. We've essentially played the last 3 games with a passenger in the centre of the park, breaking up a lot of our plays. this is probably sounding harsh against someone who's, as you say, won us a game a couple of times recently, but there's probably a reason we aren't winning those games earlier on, and it's because all of our attacks are breaking down and we lose creativity and we're really slow in the middle. You've got the likes of Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse, who can play football, Kudus, Paqueta, Emerson even. They all want to play sort of quicker, one-touch, two-touch passing. Souček gets the ball in the middle of a series of passes. He just slows us right down, turns like an oil tanker. Yeah, I think he should be a sort of maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer super sub style. Might be going a bit far, but if we need to go in the last 20 minutes, chuck him on, start going a bit longer, start trying to get some set pieces. But I think we've got players to be better than that now. I don't think we should be relying on headed goals or last minute volleys from 6'7" lamppost or whatever he is, who can't pass a football. If we are relying on that, then there's a deeper problem, I would suggest.
Fair enough. Well, I'll come to my key players for both teams. And for Tottenham, I've picked a player who in the 13 appearances he's made in the Premier League, he scored 8 goals. And you've probably worked it out already who it is, but I'll continue. 1 assist. I don't know why they put clean sheets there because he's an offensive player. The player that I've selected from us, he's been 12 appearances. He's got 1 goal. This guy's a defender, and he's been part of a defence that's managed to keep 1 clean sheet in those 12 games. Who do I speak of? Yeah, I speak of Son and Kurt Zouma. If Kurt Zouma plays, I'm just saying.
I suspect
I think
he will.
I think he's going to need to. Kurt Zouma's really going to need to sort of step up to the plate and show what he's all about, show a captain's leadership mentality, because I think otherwise it's going to be a long night. I think we're going to struggle.
Yeah, I think we could have Paolo Maldini in the centre of defence tomorrow night, and we'd still struggle. But yeah, I think I would expect Kurt Zouma to start. Mavropanos arguably did okay for 95% of the game at the weekend.
Yeah,
but ultimately, Mavropanos is the reason we lost that game. I've seen and said a lot of bad things about Moyes and got really pissed off at the weekend with the manner in which of the performance. But ultimately, if Mavropanos doesn't do what he did, like an absolute idiot, we win that game 1-0 and we're 2 points better off in the table, and Moyes' plan works to perfection, unfortunately. So yeah, I would suspect Kurt Zouma will come back in, and obviously with the personal issues he's had this week, probably hoping to not prove a point, but yeah, hopefully he's be fully focused on the task in hand.
So this is a question to you, Charlie, and also to anybody that is watching this live. Get this in the live chat. Anybody that watches it subsequently, feel free to get it in the comment section below. What would be your starting 11, Charlie? Not what you think David Moyes will select, which we'll get into down the track. But first of all, what would be your starting 11? Formation and personnel.
Yeah, so I think I would go with a 4. I should have given this some thought, knowing that we was going to do this video, shouldn't I? You would have thought so. 4-3-3.
Yep.
Areola, Soufal. Yeah, I probably would go Zouma. Agerd, Emerson, Alvarez, a holding defensive midfielder. Back to what he was doing at the start of the season, almost playing as a third centre back when we're on the attack. 2 8s, James Ward-Prowse and Lucas Paqueta. Could have predicted I was going to say that. Bowen on the right. I say these positions in the front 3, I think they can all switch around.
They're very fluid, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all left-footed, I'm going to say. So that kind of gives you a hint of where I'm going. And it's never happening. But Bowen on the right, Kudus up front, Cornet on the left.
And the 3 of them would have license to sort of swap over and...
Yeah. I think you could take Bowen. He can do a job up front. He can do a job on the right. We know both those positions. No reason to suggest he can't do a job on the left. Kudus, I thought, showed in 15, 20-minute spells at the weekend that he could do a job on the left. And if we was going to suggest a more realistic lineup that Moyes might actually consider, because he clearly hates Cornet, I would put, say, Bowen on the right, Kudus on the left, and then Obama up front. Some would say that's even less realistic, but yeah, I would have no issues playing Kudus on the left. I think he looked pretty good there, albeit for 15, 20 minutes of the weekend. But all three of them can play in all three positions, I think. We saw Cornet put in a ball, albeit to Souček's lamppost foot, a couple of games ago. So, yeah, that would be my 11.
I think there's probably more chance of Jeff Hurst starting than there is Divine Mubama.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think I'm largely in agreement with you. I mean, I'd go 4-3-3 with Areola, Kufal, Zuma, Aguirre, and Emerson as the back five unit. Emerson, again, defensive mid. Ward-Prowse, Paquetá, central mid. And then, yes, again, I would be looking to sort of implement a fluid front three. Bowen is an absolute must, non-negotiable. It's then a question of, who else you put with him. I think, again, Kudus is, again, for me, non-negotiable. The question is, who's the third player?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you go, Mubama? Do you go Cornet? Do you go Danny Ings?
No. I can give you the answer to that one.
Just no. He probably will go Danny Ings, though, won't he?
I think even Moyes has come to his senses on that one.
Do you think?
Well,
sure.
I don't know. If it was to be a starting position and it was either Ings or Mubama, he'd probably still go Ings. I would suspect he'll still be on the bench.
Yeah. I don't think Mubama will start for precisely this reason, but it doesn't mean to say that he can't be on the bench. He's a young, fit player. I'm sure he would be good to go from the bench, but will Moyes bring him on?
Probably not.
Maybe not.
As you say, the question is that third one, isn't it? It's obviously not Ings. It's not going to be about Mubama, given he played yesterday, and
could it be Benny?
Well, it's either Benny or Fornals, realistically, if it isn't Cornet, isn't it? And Fornals, I haven't seen anything attacking-wise out of him for about a year and a half, so it wouldn't be him. And
he got a goal in a European semi-final a couple of months back. That's harsh.
That was probably off his backside. I can't even remember it.
Charlie.
I was probably there and completely intoxicated, so I can barely remember Prague.
Well, that's fair.
But yeah, Fornals is just not an option for me. I wouldn't put him anywhere near. I wouldn't even have him on the bench these days. I just think he offers nothing. Benrahma's a weird one. He's had a couple of good sub appearances off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably what he is. He's an impact sub. But oh god, he winds me up when he does his cutbacks and then he cut the other way and then a cut back again and then cut the other way and then cut back again.
Dizzy, doesn't he?
And then puts a cross out for a goal kick.
Yeah.
Or P rolls a shot into the goalkeeper's hands.
It's quite annoying.
Yeah, so I don't want to go Fornals. I don't want to go Benrahma. So the only other realistic option, is Cornet for me.
Yeah. Do you think that this kind of highlights that, Mr. Moyes, we need to get a proper striker, not an old man that's on the sort of decline like we did 12 months earlier and pay him 125k when it's clear that he never did, never will fit the way that David Moyes wants to play? I think we probably need to do some delving into the transfer market, even if it's just a loan. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think it's come out, I say recently, over the last few months, that even Moyes didn't want Danny Ings. That was purely a board level signing and late Christmas surprise last year for David Moyes. So you can't say he hasn't given him a chance. He's certainly given him way too many chances. I think I do wonder whether we number one priority should be a left winger or a striker. I don't think we've got anything on that left wing that's effective. We've got Antonio, albeit broken and pretty ineffective for most of this season. I would quite like to see Kudus up front, to be honest. I think he did it for Ajax in a sort of false nine role for a decent period. He's clearly got a goal in him. I would like to see Kudus up front with Paqueta sort of in behind him in an advanced 8 or a 10. But I'm not sure we're going to see that. But I think if I was in Moyes' position, I'd probably go out and out, or play Kudus up front and then go out and out for a left winger in January. But maybe we'll wait till the end of the season when Moyes is probably no longer with us. Not dead.
No, we're not advocating he's got a croak.
No.
That'd be really dark if he did. I mean, it'd be like, Jesus Christ, Charlie, Nostradamus, not good.
Might have to take the video down if he does croak it before the end of the season.
Yeah, there'd be some fingers pointed in your direction. Oh, it was all the setup. It was Charlie. He was the one that did it. You know, Colonel Mustard in the drawing room with the candlestick.
I might do it at Anfield if he puts out a fully rotated 11 for the cup game. I swear to God.
Oh yeah, well I'll be there with my daughter, so I'll be right behind you in the queue, mate.
Yeah.
That won't go down too well.
No.
Let's finish it off with your score prediction, and you guys in the live chat get stuck into this one as well. How's this game going to pan out?
Don't know. It's a tough one to predict. I think there's every chance of a 1-0 shithouse David Moyes masterclass West Ham win, and there's every chance of a 5-0 loss, and pretty much everything in between. Don't know, when you're in shit form, as I said earlier, you want to play West Ham, don't you? I think, but we do tend to get ourselves up for the bigger teams. We just can't put away the shit like Palace and Burnley.
Moyes doesn't have a good record against top 6 teams, does he? And Tottenham.
No, although that stat's been sort of disproven in the last few days. Where I've been seeing on Twitter, it's kind of top. It's not top 6. It's like top 3 plus the other 3 at some occasions, and doesn't count cup games. So we obviously beat City, didn't we? Sorry. I'm going to say 1-1. I think it'll be.
Well, we didn't beat City. It was a penalty shootout.
Are they in the next round of the cup? I'll take it if it means we get through past Liverpool.
I don't. I'm talking Premier League. He doesn't have a track record in the Premier League against top 6 teams and Tottenham.
No.
He tends to lose games away, doesn't he?
Oh
no! Look at this. I told you not to encourage her. For Christ's sakes, Walshy. Is she going to offer a retort? I can see her over there tapping away on her phone. I don't think it's going to be good news for us. Do you know what? Oh. My heart says we can go there and get a point. My head says that on the basis of how we've been playing, forget the fact that we won the 4 games on the bounce up until the Crystal Palace draw. I think if we play like the sort of like the slow football that we have done for most of those previous 5 games, I think they take us to shreds. I think they absolutely rip us apart.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Although Moyes' system does work against when we have 20% possession, doesn't it? We saw that, albeit at home. We saw that against Chelsea. We saw that against Brighton away. We do tend to do quite well when we got a fifth of the ball, which tells you something about our players. But yeah, and it's the teams where we have 50, 60, 70%. 70 is ambitious. We'd never have 70% possession. 50, 60% possession, we tend to struggle. So Postecoglou's, that's a tongue twister, and his tactics probably play into Moyes' tactics.
Yeah, because they're not going to sit back and say, come on, then you have the ball. And then we go, oh, fuck.
Don't know what to do with it. I've got a lamppost in the way.
Hang on. She's got the remote. Who let her have the remote? I'm taking the batteries out of the fucking thing. Nightmare. It's got to be horrible tomorrow if they beat us. She'll be sitting there with this smug look on her face, this smug look of superiority. Unfortunately, I've seen it once or twice over the previous 25 years that we've been together.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll be your turn tomorrow to be smug.
I'd take a draw. I'd be absolutely delighted with a draw, and even if we shithoused it with a last minute Thomas Souček off his arse goal, I'd be like, yeah, fine.
Tomorrow's the sort of game where it don't matter how you perform. You're away, you're up against the odds, you're up against a team that is getting such a media loving despite losing the last 4 games or whatever. Same as Anfield in the Cup. Tomorrow's the sort of game you can get away with shit house in it and defending, trying to get a set piece off of Souček's backside, or James Ward-Prowse maybe finally score a direct free kick, which everyone keeps telling me he's a masterclass of. Not that we've seen it yet.
Yeah. He played nearly 20 games now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know it'll be Premier League. It's 14 up to this point, but with the sort of like the Europa League, he's got to be sort of like approaching 20, isn't he?
Yeah, he can't be far off.
It's like, come on, James, come on. We want to see you get the record in claret and blue.
He's going to wait till he goes back to Southampton, isn't he?
Yeah. He'll never fucking score another free kick as long as he lives now. He's in claret and blue. We've jinxed him. Unbelievable.
Yeah. No, I think we'll get a shit ass point.
I'll take that.
Or lose 5-0.
It's one or the other, isn't it? Right. Yeah. Okay. Charlie, thanks very much for joining us. And you guys that have been watching, thanks for joining us as well. Please don't forget to like, comment on, and share this stream to your socials. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for alerts of new content. Don't forget to click all. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much indeed for your support in this particular endeavour. We're going to disappear now. Just going to say, come on, you Irons. And please don't forget to support the Iron Supporting Food Banks charity. And we will see you next time. Take care.
The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supplies sub-distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons.